Well, good morning. Good, beautiful Wednesday morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and we will be glad in it. I'm so glad that you've been able to join me on this beautiful morning with flowers coming out and some trees blooming and the sun shining here in Frogsboro, North Carolina. And we can look around and we can see the glory of God and just see the beauty that He provides to us. Today we're going to be talking out of Exodus 14, verses 13 and 14. Exodus 14, verses 13 and 14. And we're going to be considering where we are in the middle of this week. Often people, when they watch these videos, I have had several come back and say, it really gives me a grounding in the middle of the week so that I can point my face. And that's exactly what I want us to do, is to point our faces toward a Bible-believing church where we can go and be a blessing as well as be blessed. Now, I say that every week. I want people to understand, I want you to understand that there is a double edge on this sword. There is a double edge on this sword. People often tell me, well, I can go out in the woods and meet with God. That's true. I can read a book and understand about God. Not going to argue that. But they miss the other part. See, the double-edged sword is that we are a blessing and others are a blessing to us. And if we go and we sit all by ourselves, then we miss our opportunity to be a blessing to others. And quite frankly, we miss our opportunity to receive some of the blessings that God would have us receive. So I would encourage you to get back into a Bible-believing church. It's been long enough. It's been about 3 years since the pandemic started, so 3 years is long enough. And I would encourage you to get back into a Bible-believing church where you can be a blessing to others as well as be blessed. As I said, Exodus 14, verses 13 to 14, let's read them together. It says, "And Moses said to the people, 'Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which He will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see again no more forever.'" "The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace." Now, these are two very meaningful verses. Of course, we know that the children of Israel have seen the Egyptian army. They're over behind them. They have come down through that pass we talked about. They have been complaining and murmuring against God because they see that big army there, the most powerful army in the world at that time. And they have the wilderness on their right, and they have the mountains on their left, and they have the Red Sea at their back if they are turned facing that army. And now Moses tells them something. Moses doesn't get upset with them. Moses says something. He says, "Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid." And when he says that, what the Hebrew has the idea of is, do not let your mind spin in circles in fear. Do not be gripped with a fear that causes you to have panic and anxiety, and it has the idea of spinning. So don't let your mind spin out of control. And that's good advice for today as well. Many of us let our minds spin out of control. We let fear take a hold of us, and it goes running off, and we chase it. Moses says, "Do not fear," and God is telling us, "Do not fear." Then he says, "Stand still." And what that has the idea, it isn't where you tell a child to stand still. What it is it means to still your mind, to make your mind calm, to be resolute in what you're believing, be resolute in your trust of God. And it says, "And see the salvation of the Lord." So until we get fear, until we push fear away, until we stop that spinning in our minds and we become resolute and we begin to trust, it's very difficult to see the salvation that God is providing. But when we think about it, we look back and we know that God has been good to us. Now, one of the things that's important to know about this group of Israelites here, the Jews here, is that they have seen the 10 plagues of Egypt, right? They've seen the frogs and the flies and the lice. They've seen the boils and the hailstorms. They've seen the death of the firstborn. They've seen the river turn to blood. They've seen the darkness. They've seen all these things. And they've seen God deliver them. So they can trust God to deliver them as well. And we need to look back. When we are faced with a trial that we don't understand how we're going to get through, we need to understand that God has been good to us. He has delivered us before. He's going to deliver us again. And we need to trust and move forward. Then it goes on. I'll skip to verse 14. It says, "The Lord will fight for you." The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. So the Lord will fight for you goes back into verse 13, right? Where it says the Lord will accomplish this. In other words, the Lord's going to take care of things, and we need to report for duty. We need to report to give witness. We need to report, to reach out to those who are in pain and in need. It says, "And you shall hold your peace." Now, this doesn't mean we shall hold our peace about witnessing what God has done. This means that we need to stand still and understand that God's plan is a perfect plan. When we say to God, "Your plan looks a little off, God. I know how to do this. I'm going to have the perfect plan." Well, that's pride. That's pride. We are puffed up. We are telling God, "You don't quite know how to handle this, God." And we saw the children of Israel do that too. "You don't know how to quite handle this, God, so I'm going to help you out." Well, I tell you, there is no bigger recipe in this world for me in my life than when I decide I'm going to help God out. God probably would say, "Please don't help me out. I have a perfect plan and you're just going to mess it up." So I need to stand still. I need to be confident that God is going to handle things in the right way, that He's going to tell me the moment I should move forward, whether I should go to the right or to the left, that He will guide my path in His perfect plan. I want you to be encouraged today. I want you to have a great week this week. I pray for you. I know you pray for me. I pray that this nation will turn back, that the revivals that we are hearing about are catching fire, and that we will see not a revival in the news media, but a revival in our very souls, a change in our very spirits, that we will begin to look upward and see the salvation of the Lord. I pray for you. I pray for this nation. I pray for this world. I hope you'll have a great day today. I hope you'll have a great rest of the week. And on Sunday, find yourself in a Bible-believing church where you can go and you can be a blessing as well as be blessed. You have a great